saying things like stop in your practice and work on that, I mean in the future, not presently.
Okay.
We've got kind of shitty lighting, but I can get my hands in the picture. Cool, so, the very first thing we've got on your page was just talking about those note names, just, so B and E and C and F. Stop now in your practice and just take that geography test. And the key step is where, so B and E, C and F, B and E, C and F, and then just quiz yourself at random. Which one was C? The exact same thing we did.
Yep.
And I mean, just like spend a grueling, uninteresting 2 minutes on this, it's over forever.
Right.
During the lesson, it seemed like C was the one that brain farted you, so C. Not F, but C, B and C. And then you're going to add D and E at the 10th fret. Also, knowing where the 10th fret is isn't a task. If you have to think about that, decide you know where the 10th fret is this time without going 8, 10, or back 2 from 12. You might not be doing that, but you may well be. Cool, so there's that, and then we talked about our pentatonic box. Now we use our ring finger here and so forth. Mainly are just going to look at walking up and down it, de-emphasizing rhythm, and not seesawing, The reason is, like, for every reason, but we're so likely to go right back to our index finger and that's it, what we just played. Cool, so then, we use our pinky there when we're doing nuanced stuff, but then when we get to here, we so often bend there, and now I'm just on the 3rd string in a non-reach. And we're here reaching, and when you bend there, you're going to be using these 2 fingers. Your middle finger will kind of be or literally at the 7th fret, you'll be pushing up with both of them. This isn't something you do in classical thumb position. It's something you do with thumb thrown over the top, and you have a good hand size to work like that. Yep. So it's like, as I travel across all 6 strings, my thumb position might change a little bit, but when you get up to the high strings, don't change to a radically different thumb position. And again, just troubleshooting stuff everybody does. So, just mess around a little bit. If there's any riffs rework them, no more seesaw. And then the way we're going to force this afterward next, so stop to that. Now we're working on hammer-ons on the way up. Rhythm does not matter. Don't turn scales into songs when you're learning them. I can go because I already know how to do this. You pause, just do these 2 strings, it's all good. Rhythm is your enemy when you're focused on the hand movement. So hammer-ons on the way up, which means I'm picking the string one single time. And then pull-offs on the way back down, that's going to be your index finger. And then just, think about if you were doing this that quickly, your index would already just sit there, and you can do that, or if you're doing that, which you may never have done. So cool, there we are, pentatonic stuff, which got us up to exactly 3 minutes in your video. And I'm going to make a note of that about 3 minutes in, with an actual legible 3 is where we started talking about the stuff on the previous page, rhythms. This part's going to be easy for you conceptually because you're a drummer, but this is also going to be the hardest part because you're a competent rhythm player. You're just approaching lead, but you have to totally rethink your right hand. And like we said, it's this larger range of motion. Here's me playing rhythm guitar, slightly out of tune, and with shitty lighting, but I'm making it all the way up here, and I'm making it all the way down there. And just like kind of what is literally happening, that's the only way to hit all 6 strings without hitting the lower strings with more attack than the high strings, which is what makes your playing sound all like versus like, that's what sounds different about it, the golf swing analogy right there. So we have these rhythms that are up, down, just the first one's just down, just looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. Second one's chopping wood. Obviously you can play that in rhythm, so the task is more just to go over it, with the ultimate goal being that you play downbeat, upbeat. And then I did one that's just half 1, half 2, The only one that's got any complexity is I went 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and, which is going to be down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up. Cool. So hitting all strings, golf swing, learning stuff, geography test. going over scales in O, not C sign. Cool. And then we talked about how in your other pentatonic structures you're going to use your strong fingers here, and kind of, there's so many phrasings where we do something like that, or so no sliding on your index this week, except for the nuance, just like sliding into a note versus I'm sliding from here to here. And it's not that we never do, it's just that you need to, using your ring finger for slides in both directions kind of is demonstrative of why we're doing it this way. It's not like we don't ever do that, but there's gonna have been some reason, like probably we've been using our index finger for something or other if we're in that position, otherwise there's just really no reason. So up on top you've got that same thing here, and really it's like to that note right there, and then whatever. So kind of this section, and then kind of who cares about the middle strings, but if you were going to do them, you'd want to be in a position where you could slide, or the other advantage of being here with your ring fingers that you can bend. There's like the one from Your Blues by the Beatles, that's like the only thing I can think of where somebody actually does that on purpose, and you can't, you can go in the box if you're me, but that's an index bend, so yeah, that'd be pretty much the only time where you decide you wanted to use that consciously, but also it'd be so you could slide forward and just be in the box, but mostly we're kind of like whatever on the second portion. Up in front of the box, and then it shows us kind of why we use our ring finger, again, so that when we slide we're in this position. I'm doing a lot of index bends because I do. Don't worry about that. Just bend with your ring finger this week, or your middle finger if you find yourself in some middle fingery context. So there it is with poor lighting. Break stuff into sections. Finish as you go. Always better to have done the whole thing. Always better to have finished one concept than done the whole thing, sort of. Good work.